PC. My name's Seb Lukas, otherwise you can call me Sebastian Lukas, and we've got another unboxing video today. It's a pure unboxing video, no frills. Review will be in the making shortly. We've recently reviewed the MX Master 3 mouse, and she's a beauty, definitely is a beauty, so we'll pop her on the side there. And that was recently done on a comparison level to the old MX Master 2S, its predecessor, and essentially the new one. So there's a video in the works at OPPC that you guys can suss out, which is a very comprehensive comparison between the two. If you're interested in having a look, and it'll give you a good rundown on whether it's worthwhile upgrading or whether it's worthwhile even buying an MX Master 2S if you're inclined, because you've got one available still, rather than paying the extra amount for the MX Master 3 itself. So today we've got the MX Keys, which I am hoping to open up successfully today so that we can utilize it with the MX Master 3. And upon first inspections, she is about 1 kilogram in weight, about a block of sugar. Looking at the backside, Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, the MX Master series by Logitech. It's an advanced wireless illuminated keyboard, and that's what I was after. I was after something a little bit more simplistic and chic in appeal, something not necessarily that would match the mouse itself, but the software I'm hoping will be of great benefit regarding the MX Keys here. But something that just, like for streaming purposes and that, I need something that can go in between two systems, dual systems, so two integrated systems, as well as have the luxury of not being so clicky for a change. So mechanical keyboards are out of whack in regards to my eyes. I am a controller player when it comes to games, generally speaking, and mechanically speaking, I don't require that mechanical switch anymore at the very least. I do have a couple of mechanical keyboards lying about, but I'm sort of looking at something a bit more grown up per se, and I did need something illuminated for the darkness in the room and the ambience at times. That's why I chose this. Otherwise there were a couple of other cheaper options that would have fit the bill, but because it's wireless, because without illumination you can have approximately up to 50 days of battery life, and with illumination 10 days, and it's a USB-C charge, I thought it fitting to at least give it a try. Now, these retail for approximately $229 through the Logitech website. That's Australian dollars. And on the other hand, you may be able to pick these up for more or less depending on where you're shopping, as well as there is a Mac version that's purely for the Mac. But I believe that this version is interchangeable between Mac and Mac's iOS, and as well as Windows and whatnot. So it's something to consider if you utilize both. If you're purely a Mac user, then go for the Mac, but there's also a slight color differential between them. So enough said, let's get into the unboxing of the Logitech MX Keys. I believe it comes with a dongle as well as the capabilities of Bluetooth. I'm hoping to connect it up to one of the two dongles or both dongles which are connected, which are also known as Logitech unifying receivers, so that it's interchangeable very easily and doesn't rely on Bluetooth. If not, then I've got Bluetooth capabilities on one of the computers which I'll have to utilize, but I would prefer to keep it as clean as possible, and I'm going for an unconventional approach rather than Bluetooth, using that unifying receiver. And yeah, since unifying receivers through Logitech can handle up to 6 devices, it's worthwhile utilizing this before you commit to utilizing Bluetooth, considering for one of the computers itself I need to put in a Bluetooth receiver anyway, so I might as well have that unifying receiver for these items. And if I don't require Bluetooth, it's not a hassle, which I don't in that computer itself. Okay, so enough said. Let's get into the unboxing, eh? So I've got a good old fashioned Swiss Army knife, which isn't technically a Swiss Army knife. It's a multi-tool. Got a very precision orientated. Got to give it to me by my late uncle. Rest in peace. Enough said there. So let us open up this. Let's open up this as gently as we can. And I'm thinking, before we do anything, I might actually be able to peel, because I like to preserve the box itself. If I can peel this off successfully, we'll just have a look how the peel comes. We might not even need the knife per se, which means I will have to fast forward this section here, and it's leaving a bit of a residue as well. And considering I'm committed to this peel, we'll give this one a go. Yeah, so not the greatest peel in the world, but it may just do. So keeping that in mind, I believe it'll just come out and it'll be a box within a box coming from Logitech. It's nothing abnormal. Things used to be a little different back in the day. Here we go. So there's the MX Master box per se. I'll just have a look inside there. Nothing in there for the time being. So we'll pop that aside over here. So we've got the MX Master Keys Keyboard. I'm very excited for this. I'm looking forward to using it predominantly. So if we open her up like so, we should be greeted with some instructions. So instruction wise, I've got an instruction set on how to connect things. I'm going to go a bit out of the norm, and like I said, I'm going to try to pair it up to both unifying receivers on both computers separately. The keyboard itself is wrapped very neatly, and why, you probably ask, it's wrapped in what seems to be paper, probably because a bit of the environment there is being thought of for a change. I don't think that type of paper costs you a lot more. Here we're greeted with, I'm sure, what is the unifying receiver itself. Comes out like so. So you can have a spare one of those, because these tend to sometimes fail. You can buy these for approximately $20-25 Australian if you ever have one that fails, so you don't have to replace all your Logitech stuff. Unfortunately, on my MX Master 2S, what ended up failing was the unifying receiver aspect within the mouse itself. So that was a bit of a shame. So here we've got probably our warranty / general warranty information and manual, I guess, even though the instructions on the box itself. And here we have also a little run-me-down, something to do with battery removal for recycling, and yeah, just another card, which I believe that was a warranty card. So I'll pop those back in here. Along with that, we do have the, I'll pop that in there. We do have, if we lift underneath here, we are greeted with nothing else except for another safety, compliance and warranty information booklet. So they've gone all out with these, multiple languages and whatnot. But if we pop that back in there, we do have, and we can have a look at what is essentially the USB-C, which will plug into the MX Keys itself, USB-C cable, along with to the USB-A/USB-A cable. Yeah, that's universal nowadays. The good thing is plugging this, you need to probably charge this more often than you need to charge your MX Master mouse, especially if you've got the illumination every 10 days, you'll have to. These ports tend to get a beating, so it's a good thing that a lot of places are adopting USB-C, because at least whichever way you put it in, it's going to slot in. They still get a bit of a beating over time when you're continuously charging things, but as you can see, much more forgiving when it comes to any aspect, any side, as opposed to some very fragile hardware or peripherals I've got still to this day, which I am hoping last the test of time, which they are, except for the charging ports themselves. I don't want it to be one of those gimmicky things that companies tend to throw on you, where they put those type of ports there because they know eventually that's what's going to break on it, because you still have a sour feeling in your mouth pertaining to the company just because of the fact that they could have easily used a USB-C for it. So it's nothing, you know, like, it's like I'm like that with a headset of mine, an Asus headset, which I use as a complete flat device for audio listening. And the thing that inhibits me now, apart from charging it ever so carefully, is the fact that the software does not recognize virtual surround sound unless I predate the Windows install to a 2003 version of Windows. So if I have to reinstall Windows on any one of my systems currently, then I am up creek, because I'm going to have to predate that, and it gets to a point that Windows won't even allow you to install that version of Windows anymore, if you get my drift, especially once we move on to, say, what is supposedly going to be Windows 10X or whatnot. So coming back to the MX keys, just as a heads up, I will be not turning her on, so you guys won't see the illumination till the review process occurs, just because of the fact that I want to maximize. This is a true unboxing per se, and as an unboxing, MX Master 3, the ultimate companion to MX keys. Ain't that brilliant, guys? So we've got that just there. Got the MX Master 3. I don't know why they, I guess it's an MX range, so it makes sense, but here you go. So let us pop that aside over here. And what we finally have is the unboxing of the keys. I'll pop it up to myself here. So here's my shoulder length, shoulder width. You can see it on the other camera. She weighs about 801 grams. Okay, so she's solid. What I would have preferred and liked is maybe a metal accented back to this actual keyboard, but she's also a set height, which means that you won't be able to, if she's not comfortable for your liking, you will struggle if you can't get used to it. Now I believe she comes with approximately a 75% charge, generally speaking, but again, I don't want to turn her on per se until she's completely fully charged. That is generally a go when it comes to maximizing the lifespan of your keyboard, or maximizing the lifespan of any lithium based battery products, like especially your mobile phones, especially things like your wireless, like say Microsoft Elite controllers and whatnot, where we've got a review at OPPC which you guys can check out regarding the Elite Series 2. And a comparison video to the first one. From one of my first reviews from a previous channel that was brought over. But as you can see here, we've got an on and off switch. I believe she is in the, it looks like she was in the on switch the whole time, which is, now she's on though. So you can see her lighting up subsequently. I'll turn her off real quickly. I'll turn her off very quickly, and at least we know she works, and there's a USB-C port just here for charging, so nothing fancy regarding that. If we go to the feel of the keyboard itself, it's got indentations within the indentations. What I also liked about this keyboard is it's full size. It's a full size keyboard, but there is little amounts of spacing in between each key, which allows for just that little bit of breathing room for accuracy's sake. And I wish a lot of general, even mechanical keyboard manufacturers would implement something like this, where there's just a little bit of space. It does have the number pad there. Again, a version of this perhaps from Logitech without the number pad would be an interest, where they could sell that separately, and then they could sell this for say $40 less, or $50 less and say 120 Australian dollars, and sell that number pad accordingly for an extra $60 and make 10 bucks more out of the transaction itself. That would be cool. Why I'd like a number pad separately is because I can use it then for streaming purposes as a macroed streaming sort of a number pad per se. But if I just type in, if I just press these buttons, I can feel that they are responsive, clicky, although they do have a sort of a finish to them, which doesn't seem to be. I've got quite oily hands currently. I probably should have washed my hands before this review. I apologize, but I've been working, and I tell you what, it's, if you guys can hear this space, I'm battering it now. Very quiet unless you try to make a clicky sound with them. Hopefully there's enough longevity in these keyboard, because the amount I spent on it is more per se that I would have on a mechanical device or something premium like that for gaming wise. So that's it guys, Logitech MX Keys, that plus your unifying receiver. I hope you guys got something out of it. Don't forget to pair it and check out our video on the MX Master 3, which is a comparison to the MX Master 2S, which is the predecessor. The 3 is to the 2S, and they're both great mice currently available. And hopefully in our review of both these items in unison, we'll be able to showcase also the Logitech Flow software, which a lot of people tend to be discounting for certain reasons. There are a couple of flaws with that software, but there's plenty of pros and cons to it as well. So peace out peeps, my name's Seb Lukas, otherwise known as Sebastian Lukas, and thanks for joining us at OPPC and another unboxing review. Bye.